Good morning, friends. Hello, everybody. Happy last week of July. Isn't that crazy? Wow, I can't believe the summer is coming to an end. We are wrapping it up. And what a start to the final week we've had. Yesterday, my family did something really fun that I thought I'd open with. If you're friends of ours or at OxFit, you may have seen I posted some videos, but we went tubing on the Chattahoochee River in Helen, Georgia yesterday, just as a little celebration to the end of summer. We're about to head through a big transitional season as parents, with a rising kindergartner and pre-K-er coming up here next week. And I know a lot of you parents listening at OxFit around, in our community are going through the same. It's a transitional season. It's been a chaotic, amazing summer with the World Cup here and how hot it's been. And a lot of us have been out and about doing some fun things. But yeah, we're about to wrap that up this week. And so anyways, we decided to take a Monday off and we went tubing on the Chattahoochee, little adventurous day. It's this cute little German town if you don't know about it. And it's in the North Georgia mountains. The river runs right through the middle of it, and it kind of centers around the tubing in the summer, at least. And we just had the best time. My son's like obsessed with Bear Grylls right now, so he thought he was basically on like a survival mission. He was scanning the riverbank, like looking for snakes and using the sticks they give us to push off the rocks and throwing rocks, skipping rocks, just like, it was nice being away from screens, outside all day, enjoying the weather. My daughter had the other kind of vibes rolling. She was just chilling. She was arms behind her head. Like, I posted a picture of it, actually. She was just taking it all in, loving life. So we had a great time. And, watching the two of them out there was so fun. It was just a really nice way to kind of celebrate the end of summer with them and do something new. They love new adventures, trying something new. And I feel like this whole summer has been like this for a lot of us, with the World Cup being right in our backyard. And I've seen so many of my friends traveling, taking beach trips, family trips to the mountains, lake trips, road trips, all of it. And everyone's been soaking up every little last bit of summer with their kids. And it's been really nice to witness that. So now here, the routine is about to hit again, right? And that's exactly what we want to talk about today, My son starts kindergarten next week. My daughter starts pre-K. It's a big transition. And after a summer full of fun camps and lake days that we've had and zero schedule whatsoever, we're about to go from 0 to 100. We're going to have some early mornings. We're going to have a little bit of commuting. We're back to a year of double drop off at different places. And I know a lot of parents are trying to figure that out this week. Like, what's the new routine? What's the schedule going to look like next week, right? It's weird. It's a weird place to be in right now. There's this bittersweet feeling that comes with it every single time, and then there's these big leaps, right? Where we're going from nursery school into a big school setting. So on one hand, I'm so ready. And I know a lot of the moms in our OxFit moms class, just chatting with them right now, are really ready too. But there's also this like sadness as well that you feel, you're ready for the routine and the schedule, but my kid is going to be walking into a whole new grade in a giant school, a whole new world. And some part of me is already grieving how fast, his baby years went and how fast the final summer went before school starts. And that's it. So we're all standing in this middle space right now, grieving the season that's ending and excited for this new one that's about to start. Also exhausted from the chaos, but craving the structure of what's about to come. All of it at the same time. And I think that's exactly why New Year's resolutions never actually stick for parents and specifically moms. January 1st is kind of cold, dark, and everyone's already running on empty. But August is different. Your whole household's already resetting. This week, we're already all planning and reworking our schedules and our, day-to-day responsibilities. We're getting the backpacks out. We're getting the school supplies ready, the lunch boxes. The calendars are completely getting rebuilt. Your kids are starting fresh. So why aren't you? Right? It's the perfect time. So that's what today's episode is about. And it's not specifically about some diet or like a 70-day crash, challenge reset. It's just a reset for your routine, your body, and your whole outlook heading into the fall. We're going to build the momentum you need for this season ahead. So before we talk about fitness tips, because of course, I'm about to get into that, I do want to start with what matters most, really. And that's this. Because if your mindset is not right heading into a new season, a transitional season, like most of us are, then whatever workout plan you have doesn't even matter. And I was listening to Mel Robbins' podcast recently, and she posed a couple questions and thoughts in one of her latest episodes. And I think they're kind of perfect for exactly where we are right now in this season. What have you actually accomplished or gotten through this year that you haven't given yourself credit for? So start there before you jump into this next week and the whole schedule gets rebuilt. Think about that. What have you actually accomplished or gotten through this year, right? That you haven't actually given yourself credit for. And I'm guilty of this. I know my husband and I together are. We're such go getters, kind of, that we sometimes forget to reflect and just take a moment to celebrate what you have done so far this year before you move on, right? Or make yourself feel, any sort of way about why you're not where you thought you should be or would be, right? So seriously sit with that for a second. And maybe it was a job change, a challenging season, with your kid, house renovations, caring for a sick parent, moving to a new neighborhood, overcoming something or accomplishing something, right? Maybe it was just showing up every single day for your kids and working on being the best parent that you could be, even on the days when you had nothing left to give. But you did something in these past 6-7 months that you should give yourself credit for before we move forward. So, Mel Robbins talked about this a little bit, how we're so quick to catalog everything we didn't do, right? The workouts that we skipped, the meals we didn't meal prep, the healthy summer that we swore we'd have that turned into just popsicles and drive-thrus. But we almost never stop to just acknowledge what we did pull off, right? Because summer was chaos. And to Mel's point, and I love this, it's that you cannot build a new season on a foundation of self-criticism, right? So take some time, reflect, be proud of yourself for something, recognize what that is that you did and got through and accomplished. And then now we can lay a new foundation for some new goals for this second half of the year. And for parents, this new year really is what it feels like. So you have to actually see your effort before you can build on it. Okay. So here's what I'm asking you to do. Before we get to the fitness tips today, I want you to give yourself credit right now, out loud, on paper, whatever it is. If you're in the car, give yourself some credit for what you have done in these 7 months so far this year. I don't care where you write it, even if it's just something you say to yourself right now, just do it. Take ownership of something awesome you've done this year. And now let's talk about what's next, okay? Celebrate your progress and your results, and then let's build on it. So the second thought that she talked about that really stuck out to me was, how are you now, right, going to maybe break out of this autopilot? So you definitely did something amazing these first 7 months, but maybe you're guilty of having some days that felt like you were just on autopilot and life was happening to you rather than you laying out what you wanted it to look like. It's so easy to let a routine just sort of happen to you. Same wake up time, same short-tempered kind of morning, same I'll start Monday and just sort of ride off the next few days. Autopilot feels safe, but it's also how a whole year can disappear without you noticing. And so here's the thing. The way out of autopilot isn't actually more discipline, but it's having more energy and more joy and enjoying the process. So think about it. Autopilot doesn't happen because you're lazy. It happens because you're usually just depleted out of energy. So you're just letting things happen to you. When you're running on empty, which a lot of us parents and moms do, then your brain just defaults to whatever takes the least effort. The same route, the same dinner, right? It's easy. The same scroll on the couch instead of the workout. Discipline requires energy that you don't have. So you don't have a discipline problem. Gritting your teeth and trying harder almost never fixes that autopilot mode because the tank was already empty to begin with. But joy refills the tank. So when something in your week genuinely excites you, a workout class you love, a goal that you're really excited about that you're chasing, a trip that you cannot wait to go on, then your brain treats it differently than a chore. And you're going to follow the process because you are filling your cup up and you are enjoying life. You're being pulled towards whatever you set on your calendar or whatever goal you put on your calendar. And that's the difference between motivation that has to be forced every single day and momentum that just carries you. When you actually are doing things you love, surrounded by people you love, building the life that you want, then it doesn't feel like a chore, right? And so that's what we're going to talk about. You have a chance, parents, if you're listening to this, to completely reset the back half of this year because August isn't just a new month. It really is the start of a new year. And this is also why shoulds do not work. Notice yourself saying should. Oh, I should work out, right? That sounds like a terrible task. It doesn't sound fun. So maybe you need to pick a new place to work out at. Find something new to do, But if you can see it as I get to work out and it's the best hour of my day, that's building more of an identity. It's not one that drains you. It's one that fuels you. And when you're fueled instead of drained, right, autopilot loses its grip because autopilot only wins when you're too tired to choose anything else. So this isn't about squeezing more into an already packed fall calendar here, right? It's about being more intentional actually with what you add. You have a chance right now, a clear calendar, right, to choose the things that give you energy back, the things that you love. Look back at the past 7 months. Circle and highlight the things that you had the most fun doing. Do more of that in the back half of this year, right? That's the real reason creating something to look forward to works, okay? It's not a scheduling trick. It's literal fuel for you. So this month, instead of sliding back into the exact same fall routine as last year, I want you to really intentionally put something on the calendar to look forward to. And it doesn't have to be big. It could be a day trip, right? It could be a personal fitness goal. At OxFit, we have a ton of opportunities coming up this fall to challenge yourself. And who knows, you could finally lose that last 5 pounds that you want to lose just because you did something cool, put something on the calendar. Sign up for a race, commit to a program, right? Set a strength number that you want to hit by Christmas. Book a girls' trip. Do something, plan something that gives you joy. And here's why this matters more than it sounds like it does. Anticipation is also fuel. When you have something real to look forward to, you show up differently for the boring daily stuff. The workouts, the meal prep, the early mornings, the strategizing, the planning, whatever, because it's not just discipline anymore. It's momentum, and momentum keeps you moving forward towards your goal. And you might surprise yourself how much you accomplish when you're just building momentum out of joy and excitement and anticipation. And that's really the whole heart of this episode. So stop, take a breath, give yourself some credit for something you did this year, and then create something to look forward to. Because if you change nothing about how you are approaching this season, then nothing's going to change. Same chaos, same burnout, just a different month. So this is exactly the energy that we try to build into our coaching program here at OxFit, by the way. We don't just hand you a workout calendar and say, show up on these days. We help you build a routine and a rhythm around your real life. So you're not stuck battling getting out of bed every single morning. And so you're working towards something that excites you. We'll get to know you better as a person and an athlete so we can help put something on your calendar that you can work towards. You've got a coach, a community at your disposal, and we help you build a plan, right? And so we're thinking 3 steps ahead for you already without you realizing. All right. So our mindset is set now, okay? We've looked back, we've celebrated, we've cleared our mind, we have a clear plate now. Let's get practical. So let's jump into the tips. So here are 6 quick tips for how to actually rebuild a fitness routine this month without setting yourself up to quit by week 2. So you want to pick your anchor workout days, right? And if you're a parent, then really tie them to your school schedule and your drop off and pickup schedule as well, right? I know that sounds simple in theory, but a lot of us don't really practice it and then make our days a lot harder, or say, oh, I'll go in the evening, my husband will take them or whatever, he can cook dinner tonight, and then you don't. So don't build your fitness routine from scratch. Really build it onto the schedule that you're already rebuilding, right? So think through your drop-off time, and maybe that anchors onto your gym time. That's why we have a mom's class, right? That first quiet hour after you pull away from the carpool line can literally turn right into your workout. Go to East Atlanta, go to Grand Park, join the mom's class. 8:15, Monday to Friday. The schedule's already shifting for your kids, so piggyback off of it instead of trying to invent a whole new time slot out of nowhere. All right, tip number 2, start small, right? So this is the one that nobody really wants to hear. Like, motivation will be high next week, and maybe it'll take the first couple weeks for this to kind of really kick in. But seriously, start small so you don't overachieve and then crash and burn. So just do 3 sessions a week, right? That you can actually finish and that they energize you, right? Those 3 sessions might pay off so much more and help you build momentum to eventually getting to 5 sessions. But if you possibly just overload that first week because motivation's really high, it's, oh, August, kids are back in school, I've got all this time, and you overdo it in week 1, then you might just break and drain yourself completely by Thursday or Friday of that first week back to school. So rebuild slowly, and then we can add intensity later. Tip number 3 is going to be prioritize strength this season, and this is always going to be one of my tips, but really prioritize getting in the gym, into a gym that's going to help you learn how to weightlift if you don't already. So as busy parents, we're heading into a higher stress, higher demand time of year. We quickly end up having school breaks and holidays and things like that in the first half of this new school year. So strength training is the key because it does more for you than just a high intensity cardio style class, right? It's going to protect your energy. It's going to protect your metabolism. It will help, honestly, build your mood, lower your stress, especially for moms and women over 35. Right? All of these things need to be considered. So 3 strength sessions a week is really a great foundation to build from. Okay, tip number 4, let your workouts double as your me time, right? Now another task. We're busy parents, so this should be time that you give yourself, right? And this is a mindset shift as much as a scheduling one. But don't think of it as squeezing in a workout, right? Think of it as, this is my hour, and this is important, and I need to protect this hour. And that reframe alone really changes whether you actually protect it or you let it get eaten up by everything else, or by the first chance that someone tries to schedule a meeting or schedule an appointment or, yada, yada. Like, protect that hour. It is your time. Then 5th tip, build in a flexible day in your week on purpose, right? Instead of like this all or nothing streak that breaks the first time life happens. We're going to have sick kids here soon, come September probably, right? All the germs are going to be getting shared. There's going to be late meetings thrown on the calendar, whatever it is. Build some flexibility into the plan from day 1, right? And a plan with some built-in grace here and there lasts longer than a plan that demands perfection. We know that. Then my favorite tip, the final tip, tip number 6, make it fun, right? We already talked about this, but going back to that energy piece, this is why making it fun isn't just a throwaway tip. It can really be the whole strategy. Pick a class, pick a challenge, right? Choose a community that you're genuinely excited to walk into, because that excitement is what refuels you instead of draining you. A routine that you dread doesn't survive September. I'm telling you. If you go all in on some community, some gym that you think is going to get you magical results, whatever, but you don't enjoy, the coaches, the people, the process, there's no fun involved, right? You're going to drop off. You're going to be paying for a gym that you don't show up to, right? Or a routine that just doesn't suit your life. Okay. So honestly, this is why community is such a non-negotiable piece of how we coach at OxFit. And it's not just about the workout. It's about walking in and having people know your name, asking about your kid's first week of school, actually noticing if you had a rough morning, right? That connection is what turns I have to go work out into I get to go see my people and they get me. They know what my life's like, right? They live in my neighborhood, in my community. We even build some fun into the small stuff, right? Like our warm-ups. And it's not just jumping jacks to get your heart rate up, but it's a few minutes of some energy, right? Some music, some silly games, maybe some genuine connection that you might be a little bit, resistant to at first because you had a hard day, you had a hard drop off. We get it. But I promise you're probably going to be giggling, laughing, smiling after and feel a whole lot better. So a little bit on the why behind why we do that. So, and that's the difference between a workout, right? That trains you and that actually gives you something back. And when it gives you something back, you don't need willpower then to keep showing up. You want to show up. So here's what I want you to walk away with today. Just a quick one today, but this bittersweet feeling that you've got right now, right? The one where you're a little sad, summer's ending, a little relieved maybe too that it's ending. That's not a contradiction. That's just what this season feels like for us, for most parents, for most moms, and let yourself feel both, honestly. But don't let that feeling turn into an autopilot. Stop, take a breath, give yourself some credit for everything you carried this year and this summer. And then put something on the calendar. And a lot of my OxFit friends and coaches already have something on our calendars. So this is great. But if you don't, then let one of us know. We're happy to help you put a goal on the calendar. But beyond that, plan a trip maybe, right? Pick a challenge for yourself, something that gives you a reason to look forward to the next few months instead of just surviving them. Because if you change nothing, then nothing changes. But if you take even one small step this August, right? One new workout commitment, one plan, one thing on the calendar to look forward to, that's how the whole season shifts for you. And if you want a partner in building that routine, that's exactly what we do at OxFit. We'll help you build the schedule, the habits, and the community that makes this season feel doable instead of really overwhelming. So head to the link in our bio and in the description below. You can email me, Lauren@ox.fit, or just come see us in Grand Park or East Atlanta. And we would be happy to support you in this transitional season and help you build your new August. All right, parents, let's go get it all the best with our new seasons in the transition to school next week. Can't wait to hear how it goes. I hope to see you guys in the gym. I hope to see your applications coming through, and I'll talk to you next week.